Good afternoon from paradise. Here I am again enjoying a beautiful day in Florida. Hot and sunny once more. I've again retreated into the shade. But judging by this morning's Quickcast, Johnny, looks like you're enjoying some fine weather back home too. Is that right for this summer?
I'll tell you what, I think I prefer my version of paradise. The sun is out, the sky's blue, there's just the odd cloud around, and I bet it's a whole lot less humid than it is your side of the pond. You've got sunshine your side of the pond, I've got sunshine my side of the pond. Yay. But lurking in the middle, Sara, we have a monster to watch.
Yeah, we do. Hurricane Gert.
Moby Dick.
No, not Moby Dick. Probably even more threatening than that. Hurricane Gert, with sustained winds at the moment of 100 miles an hour, a Category 2 hurricane off the east coast, the northeast coast of the United States, and it's tracking east-northeastwards, and it's got the United Kingdom in its sights. Not a hurricane by the time it gets to you, we must stress, but it is going to cause us some headaches, isn't it, with the forecast for next week?
Absolutely. I mean, this is quite normal for this time of year. We get hurricanes or ex-hurricanes entrained into the jet stream, and that has a kind of rippling knock-on effect on the weather patterns in our latitudes and can lead to a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. So we're going to talk you through that. One thing that is for certain and worth reiterating one more time is there is no hurricane on the way to the UK. However, yes, Gert is out there in the middle of the Atlantic. It's still quite a monster, as you say, Sara, and it will impact on us in some shape or form come the end of the weekend into the early part of next week, and it's proving quite a challenge to forecast. It's a bit like a huge bundle of energy. Imagine a super tanker right there in the middle of the Atlantic. Now, if you get the position of that super tanker ever so slightly wrong at the initial stage, imagine how big the error is going to be, hundreds of miles downstream or even thousands of miles. And that's the challenge, really, is pinpointing exactly where that hurricane is right now.
Which you would think would be very, very easy in this day and age with all modern technology and satellites looking at the cloud from the sky. We can see where that cloud is, of course. But just because you can see the big bundle of cloud across the Atlantic doesn't mean you can pinpoint the exact focus of all the energy of Gert. And then if you get that wrong, a little bit further downstream, you've got it even more wrong, and that rises exponentially, and that gives the computer forecast models a real headache. And I know you've been looking at the models, the recent runs, just to see what the forecast is for when it hits the UK. They cannot agree, can they?
No, all bets are off. It's fascinating, quite a challenge at the moment. Two quite highly reputed models are telling a very, very different story for the back end of the weekend into early part of next week. One actually kind of stalls Gert, or ex-Gert, to the west of the UK and builds up a big ridge of high pressure across the UK. Ooh. And wait for it, brings some pretty warm and sunny weather. I feel sick thinking about it. But another computer model actually does something very different, and it ploughs the remnants of Gert right the way across the UK, bringing quite a lot of rain and eventually some cool and blustery winds as well. I think, if I'm honest, that the best bet at this stage is that we will see some rain. That moisture, that energy from Gert will be spreading some rain across the UK at some stage. Most likely at the moment initially will be the northwest of the UK, but what happens thereafter into the early part of next week, well, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
So, when you're talking about that second scenario, just to say again, that doesn't mean that we're looking at a hurricane ripping right across the UK. What we're talking about is something cooler, more showery. Yeah, I think scenario number one would be preferable for most people, actually. Get a bit of sustain. Well, most people would like it dry, sunny, and most normal people, Johnny, that is, would like it dry, sunny with some real warmth. But yeah, so if scenario number two happens, it does plough across the UK in from the west off towards the east. We're talking about something cooler and showery. We're not talking about a hurricane.
Nothing too extreme, but that's that crock of gold at the end of the rainbow, which we've been talking about for so long. If scenario two comes off, it's still eluding us for the time being. A bit like Emily, the Hurricane Emily, which we had, or a tropical storm that we had a couple of weeks back. There was the hope that might actually turn our summer around. Yeah, it didn't happen to be. So we'll keep you posted, won't we, Sara, here at Weather Trending. A lot of uncertainty at the moment. But just to reiterate one more time, and you can say it.
It's not a hurricane when it gets to the UK, and also most people, let's reiterate this, most people like some warmth, John, in the summer.
No comment. This is just fine for me. Enjoy the sunshine, Sara, out in sticky Florida.